Hey there everybody, we're in Vegas once again, and today we're going to do a gravel route, a road that's called Kodachrome Rd, which is named after the old, now defunct film. I was trying to remember if it was negative film or, anyways, film, pre-Instagram. To be honest, I don't know much about it, but it seems pretty popular with off-roaders and people that have Jeeps and trucks and all that stuff. And it looks like there's a series of dirt roads that you could make a loop out there. We're probably not gonna do that today. We're just gonna go out, ride until it's cool, and then turn around. I might make some art along the way. Are you ready for some desert grab?
I think so.
Okay.
Are you now like super glad you have like the super fat tires?
Yes, they were overkill on the last route, but they might come in handy here.
I just hope it's not too sandy.
That's what shoes are for. Okay, let's go. Just for logistics, there are many ways to get to this road. We rode through the wetlands, did a little birding, and then now we're on this kind of gravel access road, which should get us to Kodachrome. Just made our left turn onto Kodachrome. We're already surrounded by, I don't know, it feels like we're in the wash. So you're saying probably not the best place after a rainstorm?
Yeah, well, I was just looking at like debris that has clearly been like pushed down here by some very forceful water. So good thing there's no storms on the horizon.
Yeah, don't be dumb. Don't ride this when it's raining or in the middle of summer.
Right. It's
definitely gotten a lot looser and chunkier, so these tires are starting to make more sense. How are you doing so far?
So far fine.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Are you digging the Breaking Bad vibes out here?
As long as it's just vibes.
We'll turn around if we see a conspicuous RV on the side of the road. Okay, so it's kind of like a sculpture garden here. I think this would fall under the classification of found art. Oh, little Spider-Man. Look at that hawk over there. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Fairly certain we're on the road we're supposed to be on, although there's some weirdness with the private GPS track. So the surface is pretty loose and deep. How would you describe it?
I would describe it as a wash. I'm pretty sure this is where the water flows down when it rains.
I also think we're like, we're going slightly uphill into the mountains. What you doing there with that fancy bandana?
I know, isn't it nice? Well, it turns out it's really sunny in the desert. So
turns out,
you know, just trying to keep from getting too burned.
I do love these amazing patterns on this bandana.
Oh man, whoever made this, such genius.
The sun is like no joke, even though it's cool. When we were riding, we saw a bunch of people wearing buffs, like full face. You're like, why? Understand now why. So it's been a pretty mellow and gentle climb. Terrain's kind of alternated from hard pack to sand to loose gravel. So definitely better to err on the side of a bigger tire, I think. We've been going in and out of, I don't want to call them gorges, but little cutouts by the wash. It's pretty cool. We're also getting a lot closer to some other neat looking rock formations here. It's gone considerably more interesting looking. Like the first part felt a little Mad Max kind of trashy vibes, but the deeper you get in and the closer you are to the rock features, the more interesting it gets. It kind of reminds me of the Painted Hills in Oregon, but you can bike through them instead of like the The big do not touch sign.
Yes, welcome to Nevada.
Behold! Stuff. Are you impressed?
I am impressed, actually. There's some pretty crazy rock formations back here. Definitely wouldn't have expected it. You know, when you're in the city looking at the mountains, I wouldn't have expected it. And at the beginning, where it's like all like sandy and washy and full of trash, I definitely wouldn't have expected
and
it.
Trashy. A little bleak in the beginning, but I feel like it does live up to the name of Kodachrome as you go onward. I bet you this place just looks bananas during sunset or sunrise. You've hit a summit of sorts. If we keep going, it'll connect to a highway, and from that highway you could take another dirt road back. We're not going to do that today. I wanted to get a little painting in on this ride, so I think we're gonna ride back. I'm gonna pick a interesting scene to paint, and yeah, wrap it up at the car, I guess. I found a cool little scene that I'm gonna paint over there. What I'm using is this thing called the cup easel, made in Canada. Pretty awesome for gouache. So I'll show you guys how I set it up. Super exciting. Tripod. This thing opens up like so. Magnets. The swivels over there. And your paper like that. Voila. You've got a space for water cup, and this hole is designed specifically to work with these gouache containers, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I've blocked in kind of the big shapes, delineated some shadows, set up some warm and cool. Now to go in, define the shadows a little bit more, make them a little bit cooler, and then also try to put in some highlights of where the sun is hitting the rocks. This is the finished painting. That's what I was painting over there. I was trying to keep it pretty loose and fresh, not overwork the details too much, but to kind of trying to capture the movement of the shadows just glancing off the rocks and little pops of highlights. So there you go. Okay, so we wrapped up that descent. Pretty tricky. I mean, it was nice, but you had to pay attention.
You really did, because you could just be going down really nice hard pack line for a little bit, and then just like bam, it'd be like thick sandy gravel.
Keeps you on your toes. I think that was a pretty interesting route, and it looks like there's opportunities to make a larger loop, which we might explore while we're in the area. But I don't know, what do you think about it in general?
I thought it was super cool. I thought like, I love that there's just like easy parking right here at this wildlife area, and you know, you hop on the trail You get over there, there's no like having to ride with traffic. You get back there and it's just like, it was stunning once you really got back in there. And some of the rock formations were totally unexpected.
If you want to bring your gravel bike out here, definitely pack a lot of water, sunscreen, and big meats, because it does get a little bit chonky and sandy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Consider supporting the channel by joining us on Patreon. And as always, happy holidays, and keep this helpful side down.